night. Well, folks, if you've seen the news, the results are in, and the election is still going to be Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. It is the very first time in American history that both political parties have the same slogan, 2016, look, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And there is huge news in the race to be the most powerful person that America has settled for. Because last night, the Federal Election Commission announced how much cash each campaign has on hand, and Hillary Clinton is burying Donald Trump $42 million to $1.3 million. I can't believe Trump has so little cash. I always knew those huge skyscrapers were overcompensating for something in his pants. I just never imagined it was his wallet. In fact, Donald Trump is so broke he's had to stop feeding his hairpiece. Yeah. He sent it to a farm upstate. It'll be so much happier up there, chasing rabbits. Yeah, it'll be so nice. Yeah.
Wow.
In fact, $1.3 million, and this is true, isn't even enough to afford a one-bedroom apartment in Trump's own building. Not that he would want it. I hear the landlord is a jerk. I don't understand. This is kind of mystifying to me. How could Donald Trump's campaign have less cash on hand than the Veronica Mars movie raised on Kickstarter? I mean, that right there is the kind of mystery only Veronica Mars could solve. If Donald Trump had the money to hire her, which he does not. Not only is the Trump campaign poorly funded, but it estimates it currently has about 30 people on staff across the entire country. Donald Trump would have more full-time staffers if he just hired Arcade Fire. To put that in perspective, if my studio audience worked for the Trump campaign, I would probably be doing a very different monologue right now. He's great. And now, keep in mind, running for president is extremely expensive. In 2012, Barack Obama and Mitt Romney each spent over $1 billion. That's billion with an illion. But Trump only has $1 million. That is 1,000 times less than he needs. Now, obviously, there's an easy fix here. Just make his campaign 1,000 times smaller. Start with tiny yard signs and... It's all right. Cute. Real cute. I actually know a guy with hands small enough to install those. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton's campaign is growing. She's gaining new supporters just as fast as Chelsea can crank them out. Adorable. That's adorable. Now, a lot of Democrats want Clinton to name Elizabeth Warren as her running mate. Any Elizabeth Warren fans here? Anybody, you like Elizabeth Warren? You clearly do not work for Wall Street. Jim?
A report in Politico today saying that Wall Street and financial service industry leaders, quote, despise Warren's attacks on the financial industry. They also think her selection would be damaging to the economy, and they warned that if Clinton surprises them and taps Warren, big donations from the industry could vanish.
And we know from experience, if there's one thing Wall Street can do, it's to make money vanish. I'm sorry, what's this? What's this? Excuse me, sir, what's this behind your ear? Is it your retirement fund? And it's gone. Illusion. And Hillary has to take this Wall Street threat seriously because Wall Street has already given her $27 million. Or as Hillary calls it, 2 speeches. But if Wall Street really is vetoing Elizabeth Warren, the question is, who do they want to be Hillary's vice president? My money's on the Monopoly guy. Not a bad idea. He's an American icon. He's got plenty of economic experience. And like everyone else on Wall Street, he's got a get-out-of-jail-free card.